Now, before I begin, I have some good news and some bad news about the Naruto Shippuden anime. Let's get started with the bad news. Bad news is, well, we got the list of episodes that's coming out this April. It's all filler. So it looks like we won't get to see you-know-who, and I'm not talking about Voldemort, in, I believe, May or June. And I would be okay if there were filler that it was going to extend more of the war, giving characters their deserved screen time, unlike in the manga. However, judging from the titles, it looks like we are getting flashback fillers. Or a completely different filler arc like the Chikara filler arc. Now, 307 is going to be called Disappearing into the Moonlight. 308 is going to be called Night of the Crescent Moon. 309 is called A-Rank Mission, the Noble's Match, which I'm assuming is a filler flashback or a completely different filler arc set in a different timeline within the Naruto story. And the next one is The Castle Falls. So, yeah, definitely either a filler flashback or a filler arc. All I hope is that this fillers don't take too long. Now, I'm sorry for you guys who hate fillers, but I guess you'll probably have to hibernate until May. Now, on some good news, we have confirmation that a new opening will be coming out this April. This opening will be done by Nico Touches the Walls. The song will be called Nikawa Ame ni mo Makezu. I hope I'm saying that right. Now, for those who don't know, Nico Touches the Walls. They're the ones that did the 8th Shippuden opening Diver, the 6th Shippuden ending Broken Youth, and of course, it's not only Naruto Shippuden, but they also have done the 2nd opening to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Hologram. And speaking of the anime, after 1 year, after 51 episodes, the Rock Lee Springtime of Youth spin-off is officially over. And my thoughts, well, it's a hit and miss. I mean, there were some episodes that actually were kind of funny, some that weren't. But, if you're a fan of Naruto, then I guess you could check it out if you want. But if you do, play this little game. I call it the Yamato Cameo Drinking Game. For this, you'd probably have to watch more than one episode. Every time you see Yamato in an appearance in any of the episodes, take a drink. Well, that being said, let's get on with the new chapter. Cue the intro! Nothing is the same way anyway. Nothing is the same way. Tell me we're all gonna be okay. Would you be there if they took this city away? Hey guys, Lunar Spiral 1127 here, bringing you Naruto chapter 625, The True Dream. So the chapter begins right where we left off. Madara has told Hashirama to either kill himself or his brother so that he can regain his trust. Tobirama and the rest of the Senju clan were all like, "Are you insane?" And they're like telling Hashirama not to listen to Madara, but he decides to kill himself, which we know it's not gonna happen because he has to be there to become the first Hokage. So he takes off his armor and is about to stab himself with the kunai, but before he does, he tells Tobirama his final words, that after he dies, nobody should try to kill Madara, and that there should be no more fighting between Uchiha and the Senju. So Hashirama says farewell, sheds a single tear, and then constantly showing about the skipping stones, the skipping stone metaphor that's been going on ever since his flashback has started, and just before he could stab himself, Madara grabs his hand and tells him, "It's okay. I see your true resolve." So in a way, I guess I would actually sum it up like Madara was like, whoa, okay. Oh, look. I didn't actually think you were gonna kill yourself. I was actually more hoping that you'd kill your brother. But now that I see that what your true resolve is, yeah, okay. I'll join you. I'll join you and create the village. All right. We fast forward a couple years. I'm assuming, I guess, how long it takes to create a village. Or a few months. I don't really know about the whole world of Naruto at this point. The Uchiha and the Senju have finally created a truce. They're finally living together in one village, and that there are no longer any sacrifices, no children dying, no more bloodshed and war between these two clans. So you'd think everything would be all good. Now with the village being created, Madara and Hashirama are up at future Hokage Rushmore once again, and then this is where we actually learn how the Hokage and Hokage Mount Rushmore and how the name came to be. Hashirama was actually the one that decided that there should be a leader within the village to protect all the villagers, and that person would be called the Hokage. Now, Hashirama, here's the thing I wasn't expecting. Hashirama was actually the one that nominated Madara to become the Hokage. And Hashirama was actually the person that decided to create the Hokage Monument or Hokage Rushmore, whatever you want to call it. He thought it would be great to have a ginormous head of the Hokage representing as a symbol of the leader protecting the village. And apparently we learned that there are two clans that are about wanting to join the village. First one being Danzo's clan, the Shimura clan, and Hiruzen's clan, the Sarutobi clan. And yet we don't get to see these two clans in this freaking flashback. Now, the thing that kind of like bugged me a bit was how they came up with the name. Apparently Madara just found this leaf with a hole on it. He was looking at the village through the hole of the leaf, and he's like, I want to call this village Konoha, the hidden village in the leaves. That's how he came up with the name? It wasn't because, because of the forests near the village. No, it was because he looked through a leaf. That's how he came up with the name. Hell, apparently Hashirama found it so lame, he started becoming depressed over it. Now, before they can continue with their conversation, Tobirama interrupts them and tells Hashirama that they have to go to a meeting with the heads of the Fire Country. Tobirama actually disproved of the idea that Hashirama nominated Madara to become the Hokage. Also, he thinks that it's best that the villagers should make that final decision. Of course, Tobirama disproves the Madara. It wasn't just him, it was also because of the other villagers. And even Madara's own clan, the Uchihas. I think I can understand why they would disapprove of Madara being the Hokage. It's because, Hashirama offered this peace treaty towards the Uchihas for many years, and only until at that point was when Madara decides, okay, I will join you. So I guess maybe it's because they believed that Madara was the only one that wanted the violence instead of peace, and I guess the Uchihas majority of the Uchihas were tired of the violence, so they wanted to join the Senju. And I guess they denied the fact that Senju clans would be actually prejudiced or discriminate against the Uchihas. But I guess that's untrue, because that's one of the problems with Tobirama I have, is that he's prejudiced against the Uchihas. According to him, there was a rumor going around about the Uchihas and their powers of the eyes, how they are connected towards the amount of hatred that they possess, thus awakening the Sharingan, and that's what the secret behind it. I gotta admit, I did not like that about Tobirama being discriminate towards the Uchihas, but I mean, we do see later on that there are Uchihas that are actually good, like Itachi and Shisui. Alright, Shisui and actually, honestly, I think those are like the only two Uchihas I know they're actually good. But their conversation is interrupted because Hashirama has heard something outside. So Hashirama finds the leaf that had the hole in it, knowing that it was Madara, and the leaf actually gets torn in half, showing the symbolism that Madara might eventually, is eventually going to sever his ties towards the village. Who should become Hokage will be decided democratically, and as we already know, Hashirama becomes the first Hokage. And then we cut back to that Uchiha shrine. Madara is showing this Hashirama, saying that you only need a special eye technique in order to decipher the secret text, aka the Rinnegan, I think. Or was it the Eternal Monkey Sharingan? Yeah, I think it was the Rinnegan. Now, from what Madara has been able to decipher, according to the stone tablet, in the quest for peace, God divided things into yin and yang. The opposing forces worked with each other, and in turn gave us the universe. But according to Madara, there is actually one more way you can interpret it. However, he decides not to tell Hashirama. If there was another way to interpret this meaning, why doesn't he just tell it to Hashirama? So Madara, he is getting really tired about the village and people hating him, even his own clan. But Hashirama, of course, wants to be his friend. He wants to help him, telling him that the villagers will eventually recognize him as a great shinobi, and that if they work together as like brothers or as his right-hand man, it would actually come true. However, Madara's like, yeah, no. I actually understand this more than I have done with Obito. It was because he was tired of the prejudice and discrimination and people hating him. He knows that Tobirama is going to become the second Hokage, and when that happens, the Uchiha days will be numbered. And he tried to get as many Uchihas as he can to distance themselves from the village, but nobody would agree with him. I guess they didn't think that they would be prejudiced or discriminated against by the Senju, and they actually wanted to live more in peace. And honestly, I can understand that. Samara says that he couldn't, again, he's still feeling guilty that he couldn't protect Izuna, and that he couldn't keep his promise to protect the clan, especially when the clan doesn't trust him. Well, that was because he wanted to constantly fight against the Senju. Hashirama wanted to create the peace, no more bloodshed, no more war, just to unite, and he's getting tired of seeing kids die. I guess you'd understand why people assume that he is the founder of Konoha and why he's the better person at this and why he was nominated as Hokage. But I guess, wouldn't it have been a lot better if there were like two people to help run the village? I mean, you'd have both Hashirama and Madara becoming Hokages. I guess that wouldn't work, but I guess, wouldn't that be a lot better because they're both the founding fathers of Konoha? Madara asks him, "You can call me your brother, but between him and me, who would you cut down?" Are you serious? Is he trying to make Hashirama pick either his own family or his friend? I know that Madara is guilty about not protecting his brother, and he still has some hatred towards the Senju, but that's actually the same thing that Hashirama would have went through. Hashirama did lose his brothers to the Uchihas. Did he hate the Uchihas? No, he didn't. He wanted to create peace with them, united together to create the village. Madara, he's sometimes annoyed. I can understand him, but I just usually cannot tolerate this kind of thing. So he decides that he couldn't take it anymore because the people did not acknowledge him as a great shinobi and probably consider him as somebody who doesn't want peace at all and somebody who wants to create war. I don't know. That's probably what I'm assuming what the villagers think. So he decides to leave and follow a different path. Then he says that cooperation is nothing more than engaging in a silent struggle, which I call bullshit because cooperation is something that can happen if two people can understand each other and they can work something out. And just before he leaves, Madara tells him one last time, "On my path to realizing a true dream, I look forward to going for your jugular." Basically saying, goodbye Hashirama, to hell with the village, and hopefully on my path to the true dream, I'm gonna look forward to killing you. And that is where the chapter ends. So, yeah, that is Naruto chapter 625. My thoughts, well, I thought this was an okay chapter. I thought we were gonna see the construction of the village, but I guess that would take too long. And it turns out that this flashback arc is gonna come to a close within either the next chapter or the next two chapters. Madara's downward spiral towards being evil, that honestly I can understand that more than Obito's intentions. But the thing is, if Madara knows that the people don't trust him, why doesn't he try to work hard to get the people to trust him, to get the people to acknowledge him as a shinobi, as a member of the hidden village of the Leaves? Instead, he's like, you know what, screw you guys, I'm going somewhere else. Couldn't he try to get them to acknowledge him? He could have tried that. But instead he's just like, no, I'm not going to bother with this. Screw it. Now, I mean, I know a lot of people are going to be like arguing whether whose fault is it with this whole prejudice or reason why Madara is evil. Was it because of Tobirama or was it because Madara himself? Honestly, Tobirama did have some sort of play to this because, yeah, he didn't trust Madara and he doesn't actually trust Uchihas. He still hates them, especially when he met Sasuke the first time. But Madara is just as responsible as Tobirama. But I can understand why Madara was actually turning evil, because he had nobody left. His brothers were dead. The Uchiha clan shunned him. Nobody trusted him because he's an Uchiha, or probably because he didn't actually wanted this peace treaty, wanted this village to come to fruition. I'm not sure. We don't even know the point of view of the villagers. But I can actually understand why Madara is going evil. However, I just wish that Madara would at least try to work hard to regain the villagers' trust, get them to acknowledge him. But no, that's not the case. Now, honestly, I was actually hoping that, with the unification between the Chia and the Senju and the creation of Konoha, we would actually get to see some other clans for once. Where the hell is Mito Uzumaki? Where's the Uzumaki clan? We didn't get to see the Shimura or the Sarutobi clan, even though they're mentioned. What about the other clans? The Hyuga clan, the Akamichis, the Naras, the Yamanakas, the Abarames, the Inuzukas, any of the other clans out there. We don't get to see them. It's always the Uchiha and the Senju. I mean, come on. Let's see some other clans for once and how they became to be in Konoha. It's just annoying that it's always focusing like one or two people, one or two clans in this series ever since this time skip. But you know what? I still liked this chapter. I thought this was okay. Maybe next week's chapter we'll probably get to see a couple more years, maybe back to the Valley of the End fight, and maybe back with Sasuke in the present, and he'll probably come up with his decision. Whether he is going to destroy the village or not, personally, I just don't give a crap about Sasuke anymore. If he does decide to destroy the village, then fuck him. I hope he dies. And I don't know if I should complain more about the Uchihas anymore, because, I mean, whether you call them butthurt or over-emotional or over-dramatic, whatever you call them, you at least have to understand at least a little bit why Madara went evil. At least more than why Obito went evil. So yeah, that's Naruto chapter 625. I'm going to Spiral 27, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.